Hi, this is Metal Steve, and this is part 2, the unexpected cutoff of part 1. Where was I? Oh yeah, the insurance racket. Well, this is gonna be kind of interesting as I try to explain it. The insurance plan I have through Aetna Better Health sucks. With 6 X's. And you know why it sucks? Because it does not allow me to get a doctor. It probably doesn't allow a lot of people to get a doctor when they're on Aetna Better Health. Because they all have to work from the same doctor list of doctors who are usually no longer in business or no longer taking the insurance, or shortly after you find a doctor, no longer taking the insurance. That's the insurance racket. That's not my family, but my family has been really rude to me, especially my own mother, about how I need to stop being lazy, go out and find a doctor, and then we'll talk. And then it's also that that if I do find a second psychological doctor, first of all, I'm not allowed to not have psychiatric help, which is weird, because now I'm on the other side of the problem, which I realized wasn't even mine. And that's very strange that they were trying to pass it as mine. My mom and my twin brother. They're trying to pass it off as my problem, but in fact they were actually being abusive. Mostly verbal, because verbal is pretty hard to chase. Alright. A lot of the verbal includes, and I just dropped my stupid battery, and it looks like it broke. So that's just another thing that just keeps happening to me, broken items. Because I have really crappy luck. But whatever. It was pretty much broken anyway. It wouldn't take a charge for 3 days. Alright. So, basically, there is there's the insurance racket that hasn't got everything to do with my family. Maybe my mom, in fact, I'm pretty sure my mom set up my insurance choosing Aetna Better Health, but other than that, it's impossible to trace. So I'm not even going to talk about it. Knowing what Aetna was, she set me up with it. Oh well. Couldn't find that one if that was Waldo. So, another thing that happened was the more important stuff was the doctor. The doctor, Pragna Patel, now, as you can tell, she's Indian, but that doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, from India, like Hindi, I think is what they're called, but that has nothing to do with it, because I cracked the accent barrier early on. She's got a thick accent, and sometimes she's hard to understand, is what I mean by that. But having cracked the accent barrier, I found out she was, once I could understand her, I could figure out what she was saying, and a lot of it was no bueno, senor. She's in full agreement with Mom about not giving me any choice in the matter of finding a secondary doctor. She's in full agreement with Mom about not giving me any choice in the matter about what medicine I'm going to be taking for the rest of my life. Oh, oops, I forgot a piece of the insurance racket. My bad. This is pretty much live. Alright, so the second party insurance racket is that Mom has got the most of my insurance paid for because of how bad, and I mean terrible, horrible Aetna Better Health is. Because of how bad it is, I have basically all my stuff will be good and covered as long as I stay in the house, because Mom's got her Lockheed Martin insurance covering a lot, almost all of my pills, bringing it down to like 50 cents or something like that. But the second I move out, it's all on my shoulders. Pills I don't need. Thousands of dollars to stay on a medicated trip the whole rest of my life. Thousands of dollars. Oh, plus the thousands of dollars it's going to take to actually find a place in a somewhat nice neighborhood. Oops. That's another video. Alright, so the insurance racket. That's it for the insurance racket. Now for the doctoral racket that I'm going through. So, the doctor is not giving me any choice in the matter at all. What, in quotation marks, Mommy, yes with a Y, says goes. Interesting. What Mommy says goes. I don't know. That's what she says. What Mommy says goes. I'm like, Mommy? Then the whole first thing I said was Mommy. Second thing I said was, wait, what? Got a lot of static after that from all parties involved. I am no longer seeing Dr. Berman, although he was handpicked by Mommy as well. I wasn't allowed any say in the matter at all with Berman. You know how he determined that I needed his services? Get this, folks. Get this, folks. He told me to stand up in front of him, grabbed one of my arms, and said, and this is literally what he did, folks. I had my arm held out like this, and he said, yes, and he pushed down on my arm. I was half tempted to go, ka-chunk, da-da-da-da-da-da. Because I knew what was happening the second he did that. Then he said no, but I didn't do it because back then I didn't really feel like I wanted to come off like that, quite that disrespectful, because I didn't know the guy. I just thought he was a nut back then. So So then he pushes down on my arm again, and he says no. And for some reason, out of that, he determined that I was screwed up and needed his services for life. Oh, this was the same guy that stretched out that when I said no myself, I said, no, I'm not taking any more, what is it called? Neuropathy training, because I really don't need it. And I really don't like a lot of the results. And I tried to sit down and talk it out rationally with him. It got heated rather quick and turned into, I'm not giving you any choice. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because me and Mom are not giving you any choice in the matter whatsoever. Nothing. Mom and I are not giving you any choice in the matter whatsoever, because I'm Dr. Berman. And I'm a big rich doctor who goes golfing with... Oh, that's a whole nother section of the video. They were going to set me up... Actually, I'll tell it to you. They were going to set me up. Berman and Mom were going to set me up in a place, in a psychiatrical group... however you say it. Psychiatric study / group home. Group psychiatric study living facility, and they were gonna, and guess who owned it? Berman's golfing buddy. So in other words, I would have been in Berman's hands, period. One of his friends and him, I would have been in their hands, period. And Mom would have been able to visit me from time to time and ask me how things were going. That wasn't going down that way. For very obvious reasons, that wasn't going down that way. And when I finally backed out on him altogether and said, I'm not doing any more of the neuropathy training. Are you sure there's nothing else we can do? I'm pretty sure I'm not the problem here, because I began to realize that I wasn't the problem here. I just had a very mean family that couldn't stop picking on me because, among other reasons, they were bored and I was available. It's been gone. It's been gone. So Mom said, I'm not giving you any choice. You're going to see Berman. You're going to see Berman at his new office. You're going to take the bus there. It's going to cost you money. You're going to have to learn how to balance a budget and go see the doctor on your own. 3 trips in. He was talking to me. He was having conversations with me the first 2 trips and actually telling me that he was going to stop the neuropathy training because, after all, I was his patient and I could say whether I could refuse a service or not. 3 trips in, he had me back on it. Only now I was riding the bus, 2 buses, SEPTA, to the new place. I was riding 2 SEPTA buses to his other office, and it was completely out of Mom's hands, period, the end. She had given the orders, they were being carried out. And I was like, no. No, 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 no. You may off. I thought this was the 3rd time, actually, that I said I don't like the neuropathy training, the neurofeedback, the BioExplorer, whatever the hell it's called. Look it up. It's called Quiet Mind Foundation. I wasn't given very much information in between the times either. I'm just going with what I currently know, which is not a hell of a lot about the situation. But what I do know is when I finally told him enough was enough, He grabbed the front of my AC/DC Black Ice t-shirt. He's probably asking for it, wearing an AC/DC t-shirt in the doctor's office, disagreeing with the doctor who already had established the fact he was king / master / boss, however you want to put it. So he grabbed the front of my t-shirt and he oscillated his head from side to side, and he whispered, and he low whispered to me about how about Steve, you don't have any choice in the matter. You don't have any choice in the matter. I'm like, what? Did Mom actually... I mean, I can't get any real information on this. I mean, the way she acts and the way she's telling me things is different. I'm like, what? Did Mom... So he's oscillating his head. I'm like, what, Voldemort? Did Mom tell me that... I was like, did Mom actually tell you that I've been psychologically deemed incompetent by the state or something like that? Because that is too much control. If I haven't, then I get the choice. If I have, then well, asterisk, 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 T. And that's when he blew up, resulting in my shirt getting all stretched out and him threatening me in an even lower tone of voice that I wasn't getting any choice, whether I had one or not. And so I told him, under no uncertain terms, to what is it? FOOKAUGH. Sound it out. It was the end, I thought. Then Mom stays in contact with him multiple times, right in front of me, telling me under no uncertain terms, talking right over me at times, even just calling him and saying, anytime you're ready to take Steve back, we can begin the neuropathy training at any point in time at all. And I'm standing there. And I'm calm about it. I'm outwardly calm about it. But I can tell my face is beet red and sweat's starting to break out on my forehead. Because don't I get a choice? Don't I get a choice? There hasn't been anything told to me about how the state's declared me mentally psychopathic or incompetent or whatever you want to do, PC. I don't give a damn about PC. I'm Linux freaking Larry almost. I don't give a damn about PC. Oops. I go all over. I swore. Oh no, I swore. I'm swearing in more of my videos now. Whoops. So, alright. So that part is, if it's not over yet, it's going to be over very soon. Because Dr. Berman's Quiet Mind Foundation sent me a little review. Here, you want to review our service? I'm like, ha 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 ha. Hells yeah, I do. And I put all of it. How can we make our services better for you? You're kidding, right? And I put it all down in the review. After all, according to some very, 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 very reputable sources, I'm pretty much the Walking Dead. So I might as well avenge myself at this point. And then Dr. Patel, when I told Dr. Patel what was going on with Berman, that's how I figured out she was no bueno. No good. No bueno hombre. Oh, excuse me, that was disgusting. When I figured out she was no bueno hombre was when I began to discuss with her, because I was naive. I actually thought that I had real doctors and that I was getting real help with my issues. They're not psychological, but I do have a couple of really nasty problems, apparently, that I need to get solved. So, when I was talking to Dr. Patel, I learned that she wasn't giving me any choice. I wish I had actually recorded the conversation, but I'd probably get in trouble with the law for posting it. But she wasn't giving me any choice. And when I told her about Dr. Berman, she immediately asked me if I needed my medication adjusted, and if I was feeling all right, and if I was sleeping okay, and if I was going to do anything self-destructive. Her English isn't that great, but whatever. I got the gist of it. Was I going to commit suicide? Hell no. After all the fight I've done, hell no. But yeah, I've got some pretty big problems. And I'm just supposed to stand there and say, hey, everything's all right. I'm doing fine. The sun will come out tomorrow. Where's tomorrow? It's already 2018. I'm still asking where tomorrow is. I started asking where tomorrow is in like 1997. I guess tomorrow is just another day. Literally. It's been overplayed. I don't know. Boy, that was dark. I don't know. I don't know, though. There's been... I'm not gonna lie. I've been to 2 hospitals. For all you crazies out there, all you people who think you're crazy out there, you're probably not crazy. You're probably not crazy. I've seen crazy. You're probably not crazy. You're probably stressed. You're probably pissed off. You've probably been let down to the point where you think you're crazy. You probably think you don't have any idea what's going on, but that's just the fact that you're not able to accept a lot of things in the world around you because they're different from your core beliefs that you were raised on as a child. Like fair play hit me between the eyes. Like no fair play hit me between the eyes. I'm still getting through that. This world is screwed up. Long story short, this world is screwed up. There's still a lot of good in it, but you just got to remember one thing. Golden toilet paper exists. We are all people, but we're also a type of animal. And And if you smell something, it's probably in the air. You're probably smelling it. Sorry, I'm recovering from a cold. You're probably smelling it. It's gross. Alright, I gotta go. If you're smelling it, you're smelling it. If you're touching it, it's right in front of you. And you do realize that there are more questions than answers because we don't have the answers and we never did. And we convinced ourselves we did because some very small, very ridiculous situations, answers actually worked for a short amount of time, so we convinced ourselves we knew everything. A lot of us did. A lot of us are actually smart enough to admit we don't know jack shit. This is Metal Steve signing off. This took a lot of guts. I mean, not exactly jack, but we know very little, period. And I've seen how little we know and how much we do know up close. This is Metal Steve signing off. This is probably going to be a long video with a lot of data loss if you watch it not on Wi-Fi. Alright, later.